Hello, third graders. This is Miss Wagner. Please know that I miss you guys and I hope to see you soon. But until then, we're going to continue our journey on learning online. I wanted to share with you what you are going to be working on today. Yesterday, you read, you were assigned a text in RazKids, and you were asked to read that text and then answer questions related to that text. So you're going to need the text from yesterday that you read for today's assignment. And today's assignment is it's exactly what you did last week with text structure, except there's one piece that we're adding into it for you to do. So what I thought would be good was I'm making this video to help you so that you know what to do through the slides, and it's very similar to last week. So I am not using RazKids, but you are to use the text that you were assigned yesterday and that you read on RazKids. And if you haven't finished reading that, then finish reading that first and answer the quiz questions on that first. So what I thought I would do is I thought I would pull up a video, or no, pull up a book from Epic, and our focus really is on nonfiction. So I figured I would choose a nonfiction book from Epic, and then we can talk about what we think the text structure is. I'm going to kind of go back to the first book that was picked, which was, keep going back. It was the one on volcanoes. So I'm going to click on the volcanoes one, and I'm going to turn the page. So this is called Volcanoes. Now, as I'm reading this, I'm going to be kind of thinking, what is the text structure? And let's quickly review what text structures are. So this is your assignment that you're going to be opening up today. And it says, to the right and below are the 5 text structures that can be found in nonfiction text. Using the book that you were assigned to read in RazKids this week, identify the text structure that shows how the author presented the information. Choose one organizer from the following slides that most fits how your text was organized and fill in the key details from the text. Now, third graders, we've talked about how there are more than one text structure that you could find inside of a text. There can be multiple text structures that you can find. But you're going to kind of be thinking, what's the main one that you can find? Or you can just make sure you're giving multiple examples for a text structure that you find in your text. So this is the additional slide that you did not get last week. And it says, use the green eliminators below to cover the structures that you know your RazKid book does not show. One should be left open that shows the text structure of your book. So you're basically moving these over, and you're going to kind of use them as eliminators. So as you're reading your book, you're going to be thinking, well, I know it's not that one, and I know it's not that one. And by the time you're done, you should have one main text structure that's going to be left open that you're going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and read this book called Volcanoes. And as I'm reading this text, I'm going to be thinking, well, what text structure am I seeing most? Just to kind of review. The text structures are description, where it's describing something in the text, sequence and order, where it's putting something in a specific order, compare and contrast, where it might be comparing two pieces, cause and effect, where there's, maybe there's something occurring and it's showing you the effect of it, and then problem solution, where there's a big problem and but there's a way to solve it. Now, these signal words, you can't always depend on them. There could be a for example for description, but they could be giving an example for any of these. So don't always depend on signal words. Yes, sometimes they are helpful, but they're not always helpful. So it's just something to think about for that. So let me move over to our book, and I'm going to start reading. And as I'm reading, I'm going to be thinking, well, what text structure am I seeing the most in this book? So, mountains of fire. Ash and steam pour out of the mountain. Hot, melted rock rises up inside the mountain. Suddenly, a spray of glowing hot ash shoots out. It is an eruption. More melted rock is forced out. It spills down the side of the volcano in a burning hot river. Anything that cannot move is burned or buried. Hot rocks, and I'm noticing this little diagram here. When magma comes out of the earth, it is called lava. So here's the magma down here in the magma chamber. When it comes up and out, it's called lava. The lava hardens, ash and rock pile up, and a volcano is born. So here's the magma in the magma chamber. The magma rises, it turns into lava, it comes out this vent, and then here's the ash. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, it is hot enough to melt rock. When rock melts, it becomes a thick liquid called magma. Sometimes it puddles together in a magma chamber. Sometimes it finds cracks to travel through. If magma travels through a crack to the surface, the place it comes out is called a vent. Oh, yep, here's the vent in the diagram. And then we have some words here, maybe bold print type of words. And there's magma, which is thick, liquid, melted rock. A magma chamber, a deep space underground filled with melted rock. A vent, any opening in the Earth's surface where volcanic materials come out. Now, just thinking about this, when I'm thinking about text structure, I'm kind of thinking that so far it's kind of showing description because it's describing how the magma comes out of the volcano. Sequence, I mean, it's kind of giving a little bit of a sequence of what happens where the magma starts and then what happens and it coming out. So it could still be sequence. Cause and effect. Well, it talked about how the lava or the magma, when there's cracks, then the magma kind of moves through the cracks. So that could be a cause and effect. It's not really talking about problem solution, although I would think that lava coming out of a volcano could be a problem, but it's not talking about that too much. Compare and contrast. I'm not seeing compare and contrast, so I know I can cover that one up. So at this point, I'm thinking, no, it cannot be compare and contrast. All right, let me go back to my book and keep reading to see if I can figure out what text structure I'm seeing the most. Shaky plates. Shaky plates. Okay. Where do cracks and vents in the earth come from? I don't know. The land we live on is broken into pieces called plates. The plates fit Earth like a puzzle. They are always moving a few inches a year, and when plates pull apart or smash together, watch out. Okay, so that sounds like something I know about, like maybe earthquakes. This picture shows the gap that forms when plates pull apart. Okay, so here's the crack, and I'm going to infer that this is a plate maybe, and this is a plate here. Let's take a look down here at this little diagram. One place where Earth's plate smashes together is called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. It is the longest mountain range on Earth. Okay, I don't know how this connects to volcanoes. Let me see if I can learn more about that. An island is born. What happens when two plates pull apart? Okay, so maybe this is where it's going to talk about volcanoes. They make a giant crack in the earth. Magma can rise up through these cracks. This even happens underwater. About 60 million years ago, an underwater volcano poured out so much lava it made new land. Ooh, sounds like cause and effect there, doesn't it? A huge island grew right in the middle of the ocean. Lava formed the country of Iceland. About 50 years ago, people saw smoke coming out of the ocean near Iceland. A new island was being born right before their eyes. They called it Surtsey, after the Norse god of fire. Okay, so that kind of sounds like cause and effect so far. Because the plates cracked open, the magma came up through it, and an underwater volcano poured out lava. So that sounds like a cause and effect. Okay. The Ring of Fire. What happens when plates bump into each other? Maybe a mountain will be pushed a little higher. Maybe a volcano will erupt. There may be an earthquake or a tsunami or both. The edge of the Pacific plate is grinding into the plates around it. The area is called the Ring of Fire. Many of Earth's earthquakes and volcanoes happen in the Ring of Fire. I feel like we've talked about the Ring of Fire in class before. Tsunami, large waves created by events like earthquakes and landslides. Okay. When I'm thinking about my text structures, I mean, it's still kind of describing about where volcanoes can be found. Sequence and order, I'm not seeing sequence and order so much anymore, so I'm going to eliminate sequence and order. Okay, I'm eliminating that. Cause and effect. well, there's a volcano. The effect is magma and then lava. I'm still thinking maybe cause and effect. I'm not seeing problem and solution as much. Let me read a little bit more, though, to see if I can eliminate anything else. Okay, so postcards from the ring. I lava you. Okay, miss you very much. Wishing you a great day. Having a hot time in the Andes. No, none of that is helpful for me, so I'm going to go to the next page. Meet a volcano or three. Not all volcanoes are the same. Uh-oh, this sounds like compare and contrast. Not all volcanoes are the same. What kind they are depends on how they erupt. The lava from a shield volcano is hot and liquid. Rivers of lava flow from the volcano's vents. These lava's flows create a gently sloping volcano. The Hawaiian myth of Pele tells the story of how Pele, goddess of earth and fire, built a home on Mauna Loa. Violent volcanic eruptions are said to be Pele losing her temper. Okay. Olympus Mons on Mars is a shield volcano. It's the largest volcano in our solar system. Seen from above, it's round like a shield. Okay. So the lava from a shield volcano is hot and liquid. I wonder if it's going to talk about the other types of volcanoes. And it says meet a volcano or three. Is it going to talk about the other two? Let's see on the next page. A cone volcano. Okay. So it looks like they're comparing volcanoes to each other. So when I come back to the text structures, man, I already eliminated that one. All right, I think I might need to pull that one back over because I'm seeing compare and contrast. Not so much problem solution though, so I'm going to cover that one up for now. And again, we've talked about how there can be more than one text structure. A cone volcano has straight sides and tall, steep slopes. These volcanoes have beautiful eruptions. Hot ash and rocks shoot high in the air. Lava flows from the cone. One day, a cone volcano started erupting in a field in Mexico. It erupted for 9 years. When it stopped, it was almost as high as the Empire State Building. And there's this little fact down here. Even though Paricutin stopped exploding in 1952, the ground around it is still hot. Scientists guess that Paricutin spit out 10 trillion pounds of ash and rock. And then here's this little caption, or this label, really. It's a label. Paricutin volcano is what that is. And then here's the other type of volcano. So what I'm thinking is, I'm going to do compare and contrast. So I'm going to cover up, I mean, yes, there was cause and effect. Yes, there was description for sure. But in terms of this assignment, I feel like I can give the most examples for compare and contrast. So learners, for today, what I'd like for you to do is I want you to reread your RazKids book from yesterday. And then as you're reading, cover up, and remember, you can, do you see a picture of, here's Emma and Avery. You can kind of minimize and maybe make two, you can kind of open up RazKids and have that on one side and then open up this and have that on the other side. It's just something to think about. So as you are reading RazKids, use these little eliminators and come up with what text structure you're seeing the most. I'm just going to have that be for today's assignment. And then tomorrow will be you filling in the organizer of what you picked from today. How does that sound? And tomorrow I'll have another video with how I'm going to be showing compare and contrast in the compare and contrast organizer, which would be this one. It's going to be tricky because I might have to just pick two volcanoes to compare. So that's something to think about. But yeah, so please know, third graders, I miss you. And but I'm going to continue to do my best with making these videos so that at least we can connect through these for now, and of course through Flipgrid. All right, you guys have fun today with your learning, and please know if you have any questions, I'm right there. You can message me through Google Classroom or have your family message me if you have any questions, okay? All right, miss you guys. Bye.